Psychology shows women who want to sleep with you will act like this. Most men think they know the signs a woman is interested in them. But here's the truth. Women rarely come right out and say they want to sleep with you. Instead, their desire shows up in subtle psychological ways, and most guys completely miss them. This isn't about basic attraction or casual flirting. These are the signals a woman gives off when she's imagining you in her bed, when she's wondering what it would feel like to be with you physically. In this video, we'll break down 20 unexpected behaviors that reveal when a woman secretly wants to sleep with you. These aren't the clichés you've heard 1,000 times before. No hair twirling, no obvious, "she touched your arm." These are raw, real psychological tells that separate casual interest from deep physical desire. If you're new, welcome. We share daily strategies to help men master dating. Drop a comment below and subscribe for more. 1. She creates private space, even in public. When a woman wants to sleep with you, she'll subtly try to create an illusion of privacy, even when other people are around. She might angle her chair so it feels like you're in your own little world, lower her voice to just above a whisper, or even suggest moving to a quieter spot. This isn't just about wanting to talk. It's her subconscious saying, "I want to transition from a public vibe to an intimate vibe." Think of it as a psychological dress rehearsal for being alone with you later, possibly in a bedroom. 2. She starts steering conversations toward permission topics. When a woman is thinking about sleeping with you, she often tests the waters by bringing up topics related to sex, freedom, or boundaries, but in a subtle way. She might casually mention a friend who had a one-night stand, talk about a movie scene with strong chemistry, or make a light comment about not being the type to rush things. These aren't random stories. She's gauging your reactions to see if you'd judge her for wanting to take things further. If she's asking for your opinion on topics like spontaneous decisions, sexual freedom, or breaking rules, she's really asking, "Would you accept me if I wanted to sleep with you soon?" 3. She drops future plans completely. A woman who just likes you will talk about going to concerts together, taking trips, or introducing you to her friends. But a woman who purely wants to sleep with you often avoids future planning altogether. Why? Because she doesn't want to signal long-term commitment. She's focused entirely on the immediate physical connection. If you notice that she's fully engaged in the moment, but never mentions next week or next month, it's often because her desire for you is more physical than emotional. 4. She manages her exit strategy. Here's something almost no one talks about. Women who plan to sleep with a guy will often engineer the logistics in advance, even if subtly. Maybe she mentions living nearby, or she casually says, "My roommate's gone tonight." She might even offer to drive so she has control over where the night ends. These aren't coincidences. They're tiny signals that she's already picturing how the night could end, with you in her bed or her in yours. 5. She allows silence to stretch instead of filling it. Most people rush to fill awkward silences, but when a woman wants to sleep with you, she often lets those silences linger, because sexual tension thrives in the quiet. If she's comfortable sitting close to you, looking at you, and just being there without talking, that's her signaling comfort with intimacy. It's a subtle way of saying, "I don't need words right now. I'm ready for something deeper." 6. She reveals accidental skin exposure. We're not talking about obvious flirting like wearing revealing clothes. Instead, when she's thinking about sleeping with you, she'll subtly adjust things throughout the night, sliding a sleeve off her shoulder, kicking off her shoes, or leaning back so her neckline opens just slightly. It's less about showing off her body and more about signaling comfort and sexual availability without saying a word. These tiny shifts are unconscious ways of preparing you to see her in a more intimate context. 7. She asks questions about your bedroom habits, without directly saying sex. Women rarely start a conversation with, "So what are you like in bed?" But they'll find creative ways to ask. She might casually ask about your morning routine, how late you stay up, or even joke about whether you snore. On the surface, these are innocent questions, but underneath, she's imagining being in your bed and subtly collecting details about what that experience might be like. 8. She brings alcohol into the equation strategically, not because she needs it, but because she knows it can create the right vibe. If she suggests grabbing a drink at her place instead of a bar, or she suddenly has wine already chilled at home, that's rarely random. It's her way of lowering the barriers to intimacy and setting the stage for things to move from conversation to physical closeness. 9. She jokes about being bad or getting in trouble. Women often use humor to safely express desire. If she's making little jokes about you two getting into trouble, being bad, or crossing lines, she's not just being playful. This is a psychological bridge, a way to plant the seed of physical intimacy while giving herself an out if you don't respond well. If you laugh along, she feels safe escalating. If you shut it down, she can play it off as just kidding. 10. She accelerates physical touch in neutral ways. Forget the cliché arm touch. When she wants to sleep with you, the locations and timing of her touches change. She might linger when handing you something, graze your hip instead of your shoulder when passing by, or rest her knee near yours so they almost, but not quite, touch. These are test balloons, subtle escalations that hint at what she really wants without risking rejection. 11. She positions herself between you and the exit. Here's a weird one most guys never notice. If you're sitting somewhere and she subtly places herself between you and the nearest exit, like scooting over so you'd have to pass her to leave, that's psychology at work. It's a primal way of keeping you close, preventing the moment from ending. When a woman's desire peaks, she unconsciously tries to hold you in her space, even without saying a word. 12. She lets you see her vulnerability, then watches your reaction. Before a woman sleeps with a man, her brain needs to confirm he's safe. So she'll often share something mildly vulnerable, a story about a past embarrassment, a quirky insecurity, a moment where she failed at something. She's not testing your empathy for fun. She's checking, if I expose myself emotionally, will he treat me well when I expose myself physically? 13. She uses strategic good girl or bad girl language. This one is subtle but powerful. If she says things like, I shouldn't be doing this, or I've been so good lately, she's setting up a contrast in her mind. Psychologists call this moral framing. By labeling herself as good or bad, she's creating a narrative where sleeping with you feels like a thrilling rebellion. If you notice this language creeping in, it's often a strong sign she's already imagining it. 14. She changes her relationship to time. When a woman's sexual desire spikes, her perception of time shifts. She may suddenly stop checking her phone or act like she has nowhere else to be. Even if she had plans earlier in the evening, she'll find reasons to linger, stretch out the night, and let things unfold naturally. That deliberate slowing down often signals she's hoping the evening doesn't end until you're in bed together. 15. She references her place or yours without prompting. It might sound like this. My couch is so comfy you have to sit on it sometime. Or, your place must have a great view. I've never seen it. These aren't idle comments. They're breadcrumbs, invitations for you to imagine a private, physical scenario. If she brings up one of your spaces unprompted, she's already picturing what might happen there. 16. She avoids group dynamics toward the end of the night. Early in the evening, she might socialize freely with friends, but as her desire to sleep with you grows, she'll start subtly isolating you two from the group. Maybe she pulls you aside for a private conversation or suggests a walk while others stay behind. This shrinking of the social circle is her way of signaling, I want the rest of this night to just be us. 17. She mirrors your sexual energy, not just your words. Mirroring body language is common, but when she wants to sleep with you, she starts mirroring energy instead. If you lower your voice, hers lowers too. If you lean back in a relaxed way, she follows. This synchronization primes both of you for physical intimacy, creating an unspoken rhythm that feels magnetic. 18. She frames desire as something external. Some women are shy about owning their sexual wants directly, so instead they'll frame it like it's something happening to them rather than a choice. She might say, I don't know why, but you make me feel a certain way, or this vibe is so intense tonight. By externalizing the desire, she protects herself emotionally while still moving closer to sleeping with you. 19. She signals availability through micro-routines. This one's incredibly subtle. Right before the night is about to wrap up, she might do things like check her phone and say, I don't have to be up early tomorrow, or casually mention she hasn't eaten yet, right as restaurants are closing. These aren't random updates. They're her way of signaling, I have no barriers to going home with you if you make the move. 20. She gives you a final chance signal before you part ways. If you're about to leave and she clearly wants to sleep with you, she'll often create one last window of opportunity. Maybe she slows her goodbye hug and lingers just a beat too long. Maybe she says, Are you sure you don't want to come in for a drink? Or maybe she simply pauses and looks at you silently, waiting for you to make the decisive move. Miss this moment, and she'll usually retreat emotionally. But if you catch it, you'll know without a doubt what she wants. Desire doesn't always shout. Often, it whispers through body language, subtle shifts in behavior, and small choices that only make sense when you understand the psychology behind them. When you see these 20 signs, you're not just dealing with casual flirting. You're seeing a woman who has already imagined what it would feel like to sleep with you, and is quietly, carefully creating the path for it to happen.